Welcome to ACF Chefs Forum. It's so important for culinarians to connect, to learn from each other, and to offer inspiration, which is exactly why we're excited to have an expert ACF member here with information just for you, the leaders and future leaders of the food service industry. I'm Jackie Pressinger, American Culinary Federation's Director of Strategic Partnerships, and on behalf of our association partners at Massachusetts ProStart, I'm delighted to welcome you for today's very special and exciting presentation on Mexican gastronomy. During the webinar, please be sure to use the Q&A function to pose questions to today's featured chef, and use that chat function to collaborate with other chefs and culinary students who are tuning in. So let's get that discussion going in the chat. If you haven't already, please let us know where you're tuning in from today. And I'm so glad that you're all here with us as we take a virtual trip to the Yucatan Peninsula for a special presentation by today's featured ACF member. Chef is a very accomplished and talented chef. Alejandra Kauachi is the CEO and executive chef of Mexico Lindo Cooking. Her knowledge and expertise has led to her dedication to sharing the rich traditions and flavors of her ancestors with chefs and culinary students from across the world. Chef studied culinary arts in Mexico City and Spain and is passionate about sharing Mexico's food and traditions and an appreciation for her country's history, dishes, and ingredients. So let's go live to her kitchen in Mexico, where she teaches her cooking courses focusing on her country's gastronomy. I know she has much to share today, so at this time, please join me in welcoming Chef Alejandra. Thank you, Chef.
Hello, guys. How are you? Hello. I'm Chef Alejandra Kauachi. Thank you very much for this opportunity. We're doing this very nice Mexican class, and also going to introduce, to Paula. Paula is a traditional Maya cook. She's going to be in charge of showing you how to prepare tortillas, handmade. And first, we're going to talk a little bit about what's the nixtamal process, the process for the tortilla. So if you can show the pictures that we just sent for the nixtamal process, and that's going to give us a very nice idea of how to prepare them. Okay? Ahora, greetings, Maya. Tell them some words in Maya.
Buenos días, kipay presyak, timakiol, kilian kemaya, minganehama, wow.
Welcome. I found it your house, and I'm glad you came to visit. What she said, we're very excited, very happy to see you here. And well, we're going to start with what the nixtamal process is. Nixtamal process is the largest contribution that Mexico gave in the matter of nutrition. We cannot digest cereals. So to make the corn masa for the tortillas, what we do is cooking the corn, the dry corn, with water and limestone. It boils for 20 minutes, and then we set aside that for 12 hours. The idea is that that's going to let all the husks to be open, and when it opens, that is going to help us to let all the calcium and the zinc open, get inside, make an alkaline effect, and that is just going to produce an enzyme that's going to help us to digest perfectly the corn. It's a simple process, yet very complex nutrition and chemistry-wise. And after rinsing and rubbing very well the corn, we are using a grinder or a metate, and we make the masa with water. That's it to make a masa. That way, we can digest the cereal, we can make a pliable tortilla, and we can make all the calcium and the zinc bioavailable. With this said, Paula is going to show you the handmade technique, and I'm going to show you the chilling technique, which is our tortilla press. But I want you to see how she prepares a handmade tortilla, and then I'm going to prepare the comal. The comal needs to be very, very, very hot water. The easier it will be, it won't stick. So the best thing we can do is just let it be very, very hot. Okay? So, Pau, please, gracias. Enséñanos cómo se hace. So this is a pre-Hispanic, actually a Mesoamerican tradition. It started with our first Mesoamerican groups who populated from the north of Mexico all the way to South America. And the one thing we all had in common was the domestication and usage of corn. We are going to prepare today quesadillas. So the idea of this is that Paola is going to be preparing a lot of tortillas. So later with the 3 guisados we are going to be preparing here in class, we are going to do quesadillas. That the main difference between the quesadilla and the taco, generally, is they are folding cup and they are made. Look. So this is for the tortilla. This is the Mayan technique, more central Mexico, it's in the air. And Paula started making tortillas when she was 7, 8. In Mexico, women are the the keepers of the culinary tradition. Super. Look how beautiful it is. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the cheating. I will be the one that does cheating. Okay, so when you want to prepare a tortilla in the press, what we are doing is, in this case, we're using 2 nylon or plastic bags. We make a little bowl and don't press too much, because if we do, it's gonna be too thin and then it's gonna crack down. This is a perfect size for a good taco. Okay. So we are just sliding the tortilla into the comal. And we have our tortillas. We're going to start preparing a lot of tortillas. If we have some time, one big gordita that Paula is going to help us to do, because we can't feel it with some of the guisados. So we just need, in order to be able to turn it on the other side, it needs to detach. That means it's cooked, and this is the tortillas. Normally in Mexico, we use 4 tortillas, no? 90% of the cases. The idea of a good tortilla is that it's made with a nixtamal, but also it's very important that we know that you can use the mazarina, the maseca, or Mancienda. It's bringing very good heirloom corn and preparing also the flour in a very artisanal way. So if you just add water and knead with your hand, you're going to get Play-Doh texture. So just don't feel, it's very easy to make a tortilla. You can just get the mazarina from any Mexican food store, add water, knead until you get like this type of texture that's Play-Doh texture. You can make very nice handmade tortillas without doing the whole nixtamal process if you don't have the time or the ingredients or the knowledge for that. Okay, so after that, what we're going to do now is we are going to prepare 2 fillings for quesadillas. Guisado means cooked dish or cooked thing. And guisados for us in Mexico are different cooked or prepared things based on something similar to what a sofrito is. We're going to start frying onion tomato, and garlic. And from there, we can add mushrooms for the mushroom quesadillas. We can use also poblano pepper strips for rajas. We can also do zucchini blossom or squash blossom for flor de calabaza. We can also do corn fungus or huitlacoche, that it's a delicacy, and we really love that. Cactus. So we use a lot of vegetables, especially Central Mexico kitchen, Mexico City and all the central area. Remember the Aztecs, and then afterwards Mexico City was founded on top of a lake. So we produce a lot of vegetables, and all the quesadillas are just, these guisados are prepared inside the quesadilla. They're filling the quesadilla, sorry, and then we put cheese, and we get amazing things with that. So we're gonna do mushroom quesadillas. We are going to do also chorizo with potato, and we are gonna do chicken tinga. Okay, so let's start with that. And muchas gracias, Pabs. En un ratito te vamos a ver. We're gonna see you later. Okay, so for the mushroom filling, ¿me puedes ayudar y quitar el este porfis? What we're doing is mincing onion. I'm not gonna show you that, you already all are experts. We're gonna do very fine, it's minced onion. And the idea of this being minced is that it's not the main ingredient of our dish. So if we have big chunks of onion in the way, that's going to overpower the flavor, and then it's not going to taste like the mushroom. So we are going to have our mushroom sliced, and also we are going to dice our tomato. ¿Sabes qué, Pauis? Mientras yo estoy haciendo esto, sí me puedes ir ayudando a picar todo, para que no estemos, so we are not losing time. Okay, so we have our mushrooms for the mushroom filling. We're going to use also garlic paste. I do garlic paste with a lot of salt, so it grinds better and it preserves also better. And we are just going to start cooking everything. We have our cup. Okay. So for the mushroom filling, we're going to use a little bit of oil. Okay, we're going to use vegetable oil.
Chef, we are getting several questions coming in if you would like to take any during the presentation as well.
Of course. Of course.
One of the questions is, what type of metal do you recommend for your comal?
I prefer aluminum. Aluminum is the best. It doesn't stick. You can use other materials or non-stick pan too. Back home, if you don't have a comal, you can use also a non-stick regular pan. But my favorite ingredient, as you saw, that one, it's aluminum, because that just doesn't need anything else. And when it's hot enough, it just doesn't stick, and that's it. So for the mushroom, we're gonna do a sofrito. It's basically start always with the onion. Then after, we're just going to cook our onion, keep stirring until it is beyond translucent. Remember, the faster you stir, the faster you cook. And the idea for the guisados is that we are not going to roast, and we are not gonna give too much color, okay? So I don't want caramelization at this point. I don't want bitterness. This dish doesn't have any of that. We just want to cook everything. So after the onion, it's changing colors beyond translucent, that's enough. And that is when we are gonna add tomato and garlic. I never put garlic alone in the fire, neither with the onion, because I don't want any black spots. I don't want any bitterness in there. So when our onion is ready, we're just gonna add our tomato in dices, so it releases some juices, and that is going to let us cook the garlic without burning it and without any caramel. So we will get a very nice flavor, okay? Very little garlic. Look how little we are using. In Mexican food, that's not the main ingredient, no? So it's very important that we are not abusing any ingredients so we can keep the flavor for our mushroom filling, okay? We just let cook 1 minute the tomato so it can release all the juices, all the liquid. And after that, we're just going to add the mushroom, okay? This is a very beautiful sunny day in Riviera Maya. So this menu is going to be very, very nice here. Okay, so mushrooms. And this way, as I told you, you can use poblano pepper strips. You can use cactus. You can have zucchini blossom. You can have huitlacoche or corn fungus. That you haven't, if you haven't tasted, please go and do it. We do potato with boiled potato with rajas, with poblano pepper too. Okay, and then after we have our mushroom that is cooking and releasing some, we are gonna make a chiffonade with epazote. Epazote can be the tricky thing to find. Okay, that's I've seen it in California. I've seen it in New York. I'm not sure if everywhere it is, but if you have a Latin American store and you can find epazote, that's an amazing flavor. Epazote is one of the most important Mexican herbs for cooking, for guisados as well. So if you don't have it, you can use cilantro. It's going to be very tasty as well. And look, we have our mushrooms already cooked. Okay. And then I don't add the herb because it's a fresh herb. I add it at the end when I turn off the fire because I don't want it to bruise and I don't want it to change color. It's actually just letting the epazote to flavor. Then we're just gonna season with salt. And at this point, if it doesn't taste amazing, it's only salt that would be missing because these ingredients together are amazing and super, super flavorful. So if we don't have a very, very tasty thing right now, it's only salt that could be missing, okay? Just gonna set that aside. And then this is the first guisado. This guisado is going to be for quesadillas, but I have a very cool trick here or a tip for the cooking, okay? And then if you want to have a super, super tasty soup, this mushroom filling, add a pitcher of chicken broth and add Oaxaca cheese for melting and 1 chile de árbol in strips. And then you're going to have the best mushroom soup that you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Okay. So next thing we're gonna do is the chorizo with potato. Same thing. In this case, the only thing we're gonna do in different order is the chorizo. Why? I don't like unnecessary fats. I prefer to use the fat. I prefer to use the fat of the chorizo or the longaniza. Remember, this is longaniza or chorizo that it's Mexican. This is not the Spanish chorizo. The Spanish chorizo is pure. So it's already cooked and you can just eat it directly. This one, it's raw. So we are not gonna take the tripe or the skin or anything that's gonna cook together. We're just going to chop it. It has a good amount of marble or fat. And then that is going to cook my onion. So it's the same thing we did before with the onion, the tomato, and the garlic. But in this case, instead of having oil, we are going to add the fat. Okay? So we have our chorizo, and it's going to start releasing the fat. It's gonna get a little crispy too. Look, these mushrooms. They look very, very nice. The epazote is starting to release all the aromas. That is amazing, amazing for your quesadilla. You can make tacos with these too. We have these parties that are taquitas in Mexico. It's like a taco buffet. We do 5, 6, 10 different guisados. We do refried beans and we put the racas and we make the mushroom and we make the zucchini flour and make rice. We just put a pile of tortillas and some salsas. And then in these cazuelas, we're putting a lot of guisados and the people just comes and serves all the tacos they want. And that's like a taquiza. So some weddings and celebrations, we just do a taco party and we put the buffet with all the preparation. Look how it's releasing some fat. Sometimes, depending on the brand of who prepared the longaniza, it doesn't release that much fat. So maybe you can need a little bit of oil, but if you don't need it, I prefer not extra fat. I don't like unnecessary fat. I like it just for flavoring, but this is super flavoring, super flavor. So while you're doing this, you already diced some potatoes. Look, you already diced some potato and boil it with water, salt, and a little bit of onion. And the idea is that if you boil them, depending on what you want to have, it could be a little bit al dente. And if it's al dente, it's because you are going to make tacos, it crumbles. But in this case, because it's going to be quesadillas, you're going to cook it a little bit extra. That way you're going to make mashed potato with the chorizo so you can spread it. So now that we have our chorizo, releasing a good amount of fat and breaking it down, we're going to use onion. Same thing. Onion. Means onion, remember. Okay, we're gonna add the onion and cook it until it is beyond translucent. Same thing, we're gonna cook it. Nice, it's smelling nice again. Estoy sacando la sartén donde vamos a hacer la salsa al comaleado de una vez para irlo. And look, in the meantime, while we're cooking this, we're also going to start doing two very cool salsas we're going to prepare today. That we're going to use you can use a comal, you can use a comal, you can use a skillet, you can use a pan. And we are going to make a salsa molcajeteada. So for the salsa molcajeteada, that only means that it's done in a molcajete, but this type of salsa has more roasting color. Now we have more sugars developed in the tomatillo. So we're gonna do two amazing salsas. We're gonna do salsa verde molcajeteada or green with tomatillo and also red. So for these, look, we're just going to roast without anything. If you want to help yourself with a little bit of oil or fat, it's okay. We're gonna have a serrano pepper. Why serrano pepper? Because serrano pepper has a very good amount of capsaicin, but it's not too powerful. It can be spicy, but the amount of capsaicin that you have in a serrano pepper, what's going to do is just gonna give you a kick. It's gonna go up and then it's automatically gonna go down. So that is going to help you to control the spiciness of your salsa. You're gonna enjoy the food, the quesadilla with some of the salsa, but you're not gonna suffer the salsa, which is not the point. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions I see about Mexican food is that many people think that the food should be spicy, and it's not the case. The salsa can be spicy, and then you can add as much salsa or spiciness into your food. Look, our onion is ready, so it's time for the sofrito thing again. We're gonna do the tomato, so it releases water. And garlic paste. Don't abuse the garlic, don't abuse onion. The idea is that we have a very tasty and balanced guisado. This is the chorizo with potato. So we're gonna let that cook for a minute. And then we are going to start roasting our ingredients for the salsa. Yes. Okay. So we're gonna roast all the ingredients. We have garlic. Okay, so because we're gonna do two salsas, we're going to have 3 garlics. We're gonna have more onion, so we can make a molcajeteada salsa. Okay. Onion, tomatillo. And so we're gonna do a salsa. Yes, very ripe tomato. The mushier, the better. Like the very soft ones. I'm always the crazy one that's on the supermarket or it's on the market getting super mushy tomatoes, and all the people start staring at me like I don't know what I'm doing. But the flavors in the tomato when it's very ripe are much better for a salsa. That's the truth. So we're gonna roast all this so we can prepare salsa molcajeteada. I'm actually gonna add a little bit of extra oil so it cooks a little faster. It's not necessary, but that's going to help us to get much more color and faster. Okay. Now we have our chorizo, our onion, our garlic, and our tomato. Look how beautiful. And now it's time for our cooked potato. Look. Okay. If you have any questions so far, feel free to ask. If we're just gonna break it down. Look, because it's gonna be for quesadillas. If you're making tacos, let it crumble. Oh, this is amazing. Amazing.
My goodness, Chef, I wish we were there. I wish we could smell through the screen. We do have a couple of questions, as many as you can answer before I know you need to move on. But one of the questions is asking, what do you recommend to achieve a similar grind to the metate using another technology or method if they don't have one?
The metate, you're gonna use it only for the masa for tortillas, and you can use a hand mill. And even if you use the meal for any meat meal, like if you're using the KitchenAid one, can get you a very good texture on your masa. The finer, the better, but you can use an electric one as well. I mean, metate is a metate, always will be the best. But if you don't have a metate, you can use any hand mill or an electric mill, and that's gonna give you a very nice masa. If you're talking about that, if you're talking about the molcajeteada, we're gonna use a molcajete. You could use a blender, but just don't press too much or too long, so it's not too fine. You can have some texture on your salsa. The idea of this type of salsa is that it has a texture. Look, this is our chorizo with potato. This, at this point in the morning, if you break some eggs here and put some cheese, you have a super nice breakfast just with tortillas. This is my grandma's favorite quick breakfast for all of us on the weekend. Okay, so for the chorizo with potato, at the end, like we did the epazote for the mushroom filling, we are gonna use some cilantro, and this is a little trick for cilantro. You twist it and fold it in half and in half, so you're not separating leaves to flowers. Then you are just going to make like a sheet that look very thin. And what we're going to do, same thing as we did with the mushroom filling, but this time with cilantro, is that we are going to add it when we turn off the fire. So either setting it aside or turning off the fire, you're gonna sprinkle the cilantro, but you don't wanna bruise it. You wanna infuse the flavor in your chorizo with potato filling. And it's very nice because it's easy to spread on your tortilla. So you will have a tortilla, you will spread the chorizo with potato, you would put queso Oaxaca, and you will get a quesadilla with this, okay? But we're just making a look. Here, totally the opposite. The idea is that we get a lot of sugar, a lot of caramel, a lot of color before putting that in the molcajete. You're gonna do two salsas here. Okay, so we have the chorizo with potato. Look at this. This one doesn't need salt or that much salt because we have the potato was boiled with salt, the garlic paste had salt, and the chorizo already is made with salt. So you're gonna taste, check it out. But I don't think you're gonna need that much. I'm sorry to do this to you, but I would have to taste. I am very sorry at this point. Oh my God. Okay. This is going to be a very nice class. Because I'm a professional, I will have to taste everything and let you know how it is. Okay. So our chorizo is ready. We're setting it aside. And we are going to do now chicken tinga. Chicken tinga I tried to be very professional to let you know why tinga. And we found out that, I don't know who thought about tinga, and they just put the name. Because those are that have with the ingredients, neither with the cost nor with anything. Not a region of Mexico, no nothing. Chicken tinga, we can have chicken or beef tinga. Those are the two most traditional tingas. And in general, it's prepared with tomato and tomato puree. And the most important thing for me is that it has chipotle pepper and it's decadent. Amazing. So, how's our tomato? Look, that's nice. So at this point, we have a very good color, and I'm going to add a little bit of water, and that is going to finish boiling. Carefully, and at this point, I also put some salt. Okay. So we are going to prepare now the chicken tinga. We're boiling. Chicken breast with skin and bone. I normally use the chicken broth for soups, for cooking the beans, for a lot of things. So put a lot of flavor in the water. No, don't just boil the chicken breast, but also add bay leaf and some mirepoix and black peppercorn, and most important of everything, salt. If you don't add enough salt into the water, it's not going to be absorbed by the chicken, and the chicken is not going to have a flavor. So it's at this point one of the most important things. As you have been looking, it's salt. Let's be generous with salt. You need salt in your body. You need those minerals in the body. So let's add a good amount of salt so we can activate all the flavors. And for the chicken tinga, you're boiling separately first the chicken breast, leave it tender 20 minutes. And after that, we're gonna just shred it, no? Here, Paola is amazing. She does very, very thin chicken. So we have the chicken. Oh, so we have the chicken breast. And in this recipe, we're gonna have the onion and the tomato in slices or feathers. No, we're gonna have the garlic paste and we're gonna oil. So I'm gonna turn off the salsa because that's the next thing we're going to prepare. Look how pretty. Okay, that's going to be ready soon. And then it's some vegetable oil, preferably corn oil, or an oil that doesn't have a big flavor. Don't do olive. I love olive oil, but olive oil has a super olive flavor, and we don't want that in Mexican kitchen. Except for a few dishes, in general, we just don't do that. We're gonna start with onion. Okay. While this is cooking, I'm gonna remove it extra. Okay. Okay. So the same going with the onion, tomato, and garlic is going to happen for the tinga. But in this case, the only difference is it's going to be feathers. After frying our onion, saute so it's soft. we're gonna add the tomato and the garlic and the chicken. Letting this happen, but in the meantime, we are going to do our first molcajeteada salsa, okay? Let's do our molcajeteada salsa. We're gonna set this aside. A little cafecito de la olla. It doesn't have to clear. Okay. Super. So, molcajete. Okay. We have a molcajete. We have volcanic stone, or we have the Yucatecan style. The Yucatecan molcajete is made with limestone. It's white. We're going to use the regular volcanic. Some people have them at home, and generally I get the question of how you cure the molcajete. You can use rice, raw rice and salt, rock salt too, and start grinding. And that's going to fill all the space. And then it's just going to take all the excess of the volcanic stone, and that's going to help you to use for salsas, okay? That's preparing the thing. So we're going to do first the red salsa. So we are going to put our tomato. We're going to use one garlic there, some of the onion. Okay. And a little bit of the chili, because I don't want anybody to suffer. Right here. So I'm going to use a piece of the serrano pepper. You can use jalapeno too, but I prefer serrano. It's my favorite. Right. Okay, and then we have our salsa, and we're going to start from the outside to the inside. El que es más chiquito, el que estamos en medio. Gonna get a smaller like this one, kind of thing. Okay, super. Poderío como cajeteada. Just can you get a lot of roasted flavor. Okay. We have the chile, we have the garlic. And it's important that it has a lot of texture. It's a lot of texture what we're looking for. Okay. No. Okay. And then from there, look our tinga. Our onion, it's almost golden, a little bit amber color. So we're gonna wait a little bit more, and that's it. So when we have our salsa molcajeteada, we're gonna get a little of cilantro, and we are just going to add some fresh cilantro into our salsa molcajeteada. Super, look. Yo me voy para allá. So, I want a spoon. I want to mix. I am a professional, so I will have to ask for some tips so I can taste the salsa for you. So Silver, can you bring us a little bit of totopos, please? Okay. We're gonna add salt, but I want to check first because we have to put some in the water. All the caramels are sinking in. So let's continue. We're going to do the green too, but we're going to finish. This is the perfect color for our chicken tinga. Now we're going with the tomato. Remember, in slicers or in feathers. Okay. And the garlic paste. So the garlic can infuse and not cook or burn. Okay, so we're gonna add the chicken. The tomato puree. If you don't have tomato puree at home, you're just going to add a very ripe tomato in the blender, and that's it. Some chipotle pepper. Remember, chipotle pepper, it's in a can. You can buy it there. It's smoked and adobado. No, it's already done with a little bit of vinegar. That's just going to add some very nice flavor. And we're gonna add salt. That's for the chicken tinga, and you can do the same thing with beef, with pulled beef. Flank steak could be good that you boiled previously. So we have our tinga, our mushroom, and our chorizo. And Paula is gonna bring us the tortillas so we can start assembling our quesadillas. For the other salsa, we have our tomatillo that's already cooked. Remember, the onion, the garlic, and a piece of the serrano pepper. And we're gonna start grinding. This is easier because always tomatillo blends very quick. Okay, some salt. Cilantro. And okay. So the chip. Okay. So I'm gonna assemble the quesadillas and the tostada and serve them so you can see them. The salsas are amazing. Échenle tortillas. Ok. Súper. Un plato. Échame. Okay, so we have our tortilla. We're gonna use Oaxaca cheese. Échenme un comal aquí. Bueno, you can do quesadilla in the comal, you can do the quesadilla in a skillet, in a pan, wherever you want. You're just going to have your tortilla. You're going to have the guisado that you want. So here we have our chorizo with potato. Here we have our mushroom filling. You can have also a chicken tinga quesadilla, or we're gonna do also tostada, but I wanted to check it out. And then we have Oaxaca cheese. That's a quesadilla, basically. Okay. This is the limit full. Okay. We have that. And for a tostada, because my favorite is chicken tinga tostadas, we are gonna put some cream, fresh cream. We put chicken tinga. And then we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of cotija cheese. That's our aged cheese. It is very, very tasty. And don't abuse the cheese either. But this is the tostada. Our quesadilla, we're just waiting for the cheese to melt. Mushroom. And chorizo with potato. And then we are just going to add at this point some salsa roja. Look. Some salsa verde. And the tinga tostada doesn't have any salsa because we already have a lot of flavor. We already have so much flavor in the tinga and the chipotle pepper that it doesn't need anything. If you want to have, you can add extra salsa, but I think that that's a flavor that goes very good with quesadillas. The tostada already has a lot of juices and flavors, okay? If you have any question, feel free to ask. We already are gonna cook more quesadillas so everybody here can enjoy. We have a very nice sunny day. And here we have this tool that you can have when you come on vacation. It's Mexico Lindo Cooking. Next time that you're coming on vacation to Riviera Maya, to Cancun, to the Yucatan Peninsula, you can come enjoy the best Mexican food and just learn how to do it yourselves. Or we also have a culinary program that is for chefs and for students that wanna get more like deeper into their Mexican knowledge. It's a 10-day program where you come here, you learn with us, and you can earn an ACF certificate and use and implement all your new knowledge about all the traditions and the Mexican techniques into your restaurants and into your school if you want to teach about that. So if you want more information, let us know. We will be more than happy. We have special promotion for Thanksgiving and up to Christmas. So if you reserve your spot that it's on March, you come here with us 10 days, you will enjoy and learn a lot about Mexico, okay? Thank you very much. And if you have any other question, please feel free to ask, okay?
Wonderful, Chef. Oh my goodness, everything looks spectacular, right? I know everyone here wishes they were with you in your kitchen today. So thank you so much for sharing that amazing demonstration. Everything looks fabulous. We do have some questions, and if you might be able to answer a couple of these. One of the questions isn't related exactly to what you were preparing today, but they're saying in the market they see so many chilies that are used in Mexican cooking. And can you maybe explain the difference as to when they should use dried versus fresh chilies when they're making it?
Requires a little bit of knowledge and go like really learn a little bit more about that. But my quick tip about this is I use fresh salsa. If we have time, some ingredients on the blender, and that's a fresh salsa. You tell me if we can do that. That would take like 1 minute or less. But with serrano pepper and fresh chiles, go for fresh salsas. Sometimes we boil that, and that's like perfect salsas for something like chilaquiles or huevos rancheros, or to cook something in it. So you have a cooked salsa to cook some protein in that, like pork, for example. We have cerdo en salsa verde, that's one of our favorite things. And when you have dried chiles, it's more for adobos and other types of soup, like sopa de tortilla or a pozole. You're gonna make like a basic tomato sauce with all the roasted or dried chiles and make an adobo to rub into a protein and stew it, braise it, or cook it, or slow cook in some way. So normally I would do dried chiles for adobos and dried salsas or smoky salsas. And I would do fresh chiles like serrano or jalapeno for either fresh salsa or cooked salsas to tacos, for quesadillas, or for any type of aperitivo. This type of salsa, for example, I love it. And it's just raw tomatillo. This is like, you know, in Mexico, nobody comes on announced, no? They just show up to your house. So when I receive guests or visitors, I just get a little bit of tomatillo or tomato. I get fresh cilantro. I get a piece of garlic and a piece of onion. Piece of onion, a piece of garlic, salt, a little bit of water, so the blades can run, and that is it. It's just a piece of serrano. And just blend it. That is the best salsa for tacos de carnitas, or for quesadillas, or for things that you're gonna put on the table, that you're gonna serve on the table. So normally what I do is molcajeteadas and this green salsa and this salsa verde. It's for tacos and things that are going to serve on the table. When I boil and cook a salsa, it's because I want to cook something in it, like pork or something. So, the grano. Look. This is a very nice salsa verde. I hope I answered a little bit your question.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So fabulous. One of the other chefs was wondering if there are any seasonal ingredients or dishes that are particularly popular around the holidays in Mexico that they should be adding to their holiday buffets.
Yes, look, especially in Christmas, because Christmas is a Christian party and celebration. It goes together with our Mesoamerican or pre-Hispanic customs. So our menu for the parties or for the fiestas, for example, for the Christmas parties, it's more turkey and pork in an adobo and pasta and romeritos that's with a mole. It's kind of like your Thanksgiving dinner. For us, it's that's the big party, and it's a little bit more mixed or Creole with the Spanish. But for the Dia de Muertos and most of our celebrations, we do tamales. Tamales is our favorite thing, and it's the most traditional, and it's also very important because tamales have a spirit, because corn has a spirit. Corn was given from the gods to us for our sustain. So we always put in the altar. So we want to show you a little bit about the altar. Look, we just passed Dia de Muertos. We always put an altar with pan de muerto, and we put tamales, and we put traditional food and candles and a lot of things, and the pictures of the people that's going to come to celebrate with us. So tamales is more for the parties.
Excellent. Thank you very much. One of the viewers is an instructor at a college, and they're wondering if you also accommodate school groups, if they'd like to bring a group of their students or their instructors to learn at your facility. Is that something that you're able to arrange as well?
Everything is arranged in the culinary program, actually. I mean, you can come if you're on vacation just to take one cooking class or a few cooking classes, but for the culinary programs with the ACF, accommodation, meals, culinary experiences, food tours, cooking classes, a certificate, and all transportation, it's arranged for you. So everything it's taken care of.
Oh, sounds incredible. I'm hoping I can make it down. Chef, this has been, this has just been such an inspirational and educational demonstration. We're certainly so grateful to you and to your staff as well, who I know have put in a lot of effort in putting into today's program. I'm wondering if you have any final words, final thoughts, or any messages to those who are tuning in or watching the recording.
Thank you very much. Yes, of course. First of all, thanking you, thanking ACF, thanking you, Jackie, and everybody on the team that you've been awesome and great. I love to teach about Mexican food. So I think the most important part of recuperating all our traditions and our culture, being able to share that, it's elevating the level of Mexican cuisine worldwide. And what a better way to do that than learning from scratch how to cook. I would love to see you all here, if not online or however it is, but let's all recuperate the Mexican traditions. I think it's an amazing gastronomy full of culture. And the most important thing is that it's not a dead culture, it's alive. It's more alive than ever.
Fabulous. Well, I can't think of a better note to end on. A huge virtual round of applause as we thank the fabulous Chef Alejandra. We appreciate you taking the time to share your skills, your enthusiasm, and your passion for Mexican cuisine with the chefs and culinary students and industry professionals who are tuning in today. For those of you watching, please be on the lookout for an email with the recording and a survey and some links that have been provided by the chef that you'll receive this week. And remember that you'll need to complete the survey in order to earn your 1 hour of ACF CEH. We hope that you'll join us. We have 2 exciting upcoming webinars in December where we'll shine the spotlight on women in food service, and we'll also cover animal welfare and farming practices. So stay tuned for more information on those sessions. And we certainly hope to see you in person. Please visit acfchefs.org and click on the events tab to register now for ACF National Convention in July in Phoenix. I know for those of you who attended in New Orleans this last year, you were able to attend a session in person with Chef Alejandra. And so we'll hope that we can see you all in person again this summer. So on behalf of the ACF National Office, thank you again to Chef Kauachi for such a fabulous demonstration. And thank you all for tuning in today. We'll see you all soon. Happy holidays.